Is the Seventh-Day Adventist Church Babylon or Laodicea? In order for the answer to this question to have its correct impact, there is something that needs to be understood. Suppose you have a tender and compassionate father with two sons. This father instructs both of his sons for their highest good. But at length, the eldest son ignores his father's instruction and goes out into the world, never more to return, and thereby bringing ruin upon himself. Sorrowfully, the father turns to the youngest son and continues his instruction. In addition to his former instruction, he sets his brother's example as one never to be followed, and he even appoints his youngest son a great teacher to thoroughly instruct him in the very best ways of life. Yet, despite all of this, the younger son ignores his teacher and ignores his father, and also goes out into the world. And now I will ask you, which of these two sons did worse than the other? The term Laodicea has not been rightly understood. Indeed, the youngest son was the last son of the father, for he had no more sons after him. But the youngest son's position is far more fearful to be in. He is worse than his brother, and will not be judged nor punished all the same way. For notwithstanding all the father's loving care and additional help, he also went out into the world. It is inaccurate to judge the Seventh-Day Adventist Church as Babylon. The Babylonian churches are so because they have rejected the first, second, and third angels' messages. The message to the people of God trapped in Babylon is, "Come out of her, my people." But the Seventh-day Adventist Church professes to accept the first, second, and third angels' messages. She professes to be the remnant, which keep the commandments of God and have the spirit of prophecy. But the church is in the Laodicean state. The Laodiceans profess, "I am rich and increased with goods and have need of nothing." But Jesus says, "Because thou art lukewarm, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked." Notwithstanding her great profession and all the light shining upon her pathway, Laodicea is not obeying that light. All the light and privileges that shine from the scriptures and the wonderful spirit of prophecy writings, such as the health reform and dress reform, are being disregarded. If it is disregarded for too long, it will bring judgment. The message to the people of God in Laodicea is, "As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent." Repent, lest judgment falls, whose judgment will be worse than that of Babylon, and even Sodom, who was destroyed in a moment by fire. Sister Ellen White says, "Among the professed children of God, how little patience has been manifested. How many bitter words have been spoken. How much denunciation has been uttered against those not of our faith. Many have looked upon those belonging to other churches as great sinners, when the Lord does not thus regard them. Those who look thus upon the members of other churches have need to humble themselves under the mighty hand of God. Those whom they condemn may have had but little light, few opportunities and privileges. If they had had the light that many of the members of our churches have had, they might have advanced at a far greater rate and have better represented their faith to the world. Of those who boast of their light and yet fail to walk in it, Christ says, "But I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon at the day of judgment than for you. And thou, Capernaum, Seventh-Day Adventists who have had great light, which art exalted unto heaven in point of privilege, shalt be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which had been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. But I say unto you, that it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom in the day of judgment than for thee." At that time Jesus answered and said, "I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent in their own estimation, and hast revealed them unto babes." And yes, those bracketed comments are Ellen White's.